Your planet is now marked for death.
Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four First Steps is now streaming on Disney+.
We will protect you.
As a family.
Light him up, Johnny!
Marvel's first family is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
That is fantastic.
And critics say it's one of the best superhero movies of all time.
Oh!
Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four First Steps, now streaming on Disney+. Rated PG-13.
What time is it, Ben? It's clobber time!
Hello, gentle readers. Wow. I am you when we were recording our last episode of Don't Blame Me.
Mhm.
I was up to 2.
Okay, so you
2:30?
started later.
Well,
You were waiting for Mott.
that was the part that I was like, I had a devil and an angel on my shoulder being like, just start the fucking thing. And then Mott's like left work early. He was in the car for like so long. He was like stuck
course.
behind an
He's
accent.
coming from a long ways
I know,
away.
and
I don't know
knew.
how he makes that drive.
I don't either. Our neighbor does the same commute, and he was like,
Mhm.
yeah, I take the train. And I was like, didn't know that was a motherfucking option, my guy. Like, take the train. But
Yeah.
he's been in LA for too long. He's like me. He goes, I like to have my car. I like my stuff in my car. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, me too.
Me too.
But he was like trying to like rush home. And I didn't want to start without him, and I like almost did, but he did fall asleep. I want to say like after like the second episode,
Okay.
like episode 7.
Ooh, that's a tough place to fall asleep.
Well, I had to wake him up for like the end of episode
Yeah.
7, and he was like dozing off right towards the end of that. And then I asked him, I was like, "So, do you want me to tell you what happened this morning?" I said that. He goes, "Well, we're just gonna. I want to rewatch it. Like, we're just gonna pick it back up." So I think that's what our plan is, to watch it.
So you'll be
again
in
tonight.
mourning for a long time.
Yeah, but I'm not in black. I'm in white because right now we're not in mourning
Yeah.
because
You're
it's
right.
episode
5
of Bridgerton.
Bridgerton
obviously.
season 4. Yes. This is But Am I Watching, a
Mhm.
podcast where we review movies and television shows. And today we are doing Bridgerton season 4, episode 5, entitled Yes or No.
And we did a couple other episodes, and I think it's important for you to listen to them, but it's truly the most important that you, maybe even like just as a refresher, everybody, you go back and listen to the last one of us talking about the cliffhanger of episode 4 and how I was like, the fact that he said the line, "Would you be my mistress?" And I watched that episode twice. I had to skip over it the second time. La la la. Could not think about it. Could not talk. Like, it literally gives me horrible secondhand embarrassment. And what do we have as the introduction of this episode? Oh,
I
turns out
know.
this is the motherfucking "Do you want to be my mistress" episode.
Yes, I mean,
It's all about that word.
we
all about
are-
that line.
it's about Benedict being a child and writing a note saying, "Do you like me, yes or no?"
Circle, please.
Right. We immediately pick up with just being in mess.
No, the way that Benedict Bridgerton regressed in this point where I
Mhm.
was waiting.
He was a baby.
Yeah, so there's a line from Love Island that Taylor did when him and Alandria broke up because he said he liked this other girl because she gave him, she made him feel like a kid again. And Alandria was like, "And how old are you? How old are you?
Grow
You're a
up.
fully grown adult." Okay. And she was like, "Just asking." And then
Mhm.
he was like, "A guy can't have a kid-like feeling?" And then it became like a meme that everyone would be
Okay.
like, "Can't have a kid-like feeling?" I was like, Benedict is having a kid-like feeling.
Yeah. It's also the fact that he's never really had to grow up.
Oh, God. And you're
And
just seeing
so-
this man with, like, who is clearly visibly aged. And I was
Yes.
like, she is stronger than me. Because this episode was a tough watch for me on enjoying him as a person.
Cringe. Definition of cringe.
Absolute cringe.
He's brooding the whole time, sends her the note. Then he goes to Will Mondridge and is whining to him. And Will is like, okay, Benedict, I hear you. I see you. I understand that you would have to end your whole life to be with her, but you're mishandling the whole situation. And gives him like the blunt truth that nobody wants to be hidden away. And I don't understand how he doesn't get that till this
No.
moment.
But by the way, he also doesn't get it in that moment.
Right.
He like
This is him
nods.
hearing it, but not accepting it.
No, like this episode is is the timeline of Benedict being told explicit, direct advice, what to do, him nodding, and then overhearing in passing platitudes and metaphors and sayings about completely unrelated situations and going, I'm actually going to prioritize that and I'm going to mold that into what I should actually do. And I go, I'm so sorry. The people in your life are trying to help you. And what is it? Logic is chasing you and you are faster?
Right.
I was like, my God. I will say, when we received the note of him being like, hey, like, you up? Like, come. By the way, the original you up text. When did boys stop having good handwriting?
I don't know, but also, did he actually write this?
Oh.
Or somebody on set
Good
wrote
point.
the set props wrote it.
Oh, no. I know, but we're supposed to believe it was him, or are we supposed to think it was one of his?
But, I mean, handwriting has gotten progressively worse over the years. Even now, they're not even teaching handwriting anymore. So, like, it looks shitty. It's just, every year, it's just getting shittier and shittier. But I don't have good handwriting, so I have nothing to stand on.
Good handwriting to start.
But he's also an artist.
Oh, great point. But I was like, calligraphy, like a you up calligraphy text.
Well, that was the way that people wrote. But yeah, he's also an artist, so he would have prettier handwriting, I would think. And so Will's like, you're mishandling this. Says that even if society says Benedict can't marry Sophie, he can still make it clear that he loves her and wishes that things were different. And Sophie can't trust him to navigate a complicated life, and he can't navigate his own feelings.
No, he explicitly says to Mondridge, being like, when he's like, you asked her to be your mistress, he goes, is that a bad thing to ask? I'm so sorry. Is water wet, motherfucker? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, you have all these people around, all of this stuff that I'm just like, there's no way that you're just like, suddenly now today's my first day on Earth.
Right. He's like moping around the house. But this is this first day on Earth where he's actually in love with somebody and not just fucking it.
It's true.
So, like, at the house, he's moping around. Sophie is avoiding him. And then Benedict comes up with this brilliant, and I'm saying brilliant sarcastically in quotations, and asks Eloise to meet him in town, knowing that Sophie's gonna have to go with her. And Francesca's there too. And Benedict claims that he wants to help Eloise make amends with Hyacinth by buying Hyacinth a debut feather.
It's like, I forgot you guys stuck the feathers in your hair.
So stupid. And then he's like, sends his sisters along to the shop so he can be along with Sophie. It was just all a setup. And I'm sorry, but Eloise is too smart to fall for that.
Eloise is sleeping on the job. I'm like, someone check her thyroid levels. Like, this girl is not that sharp right now. And like, that's not the Eloise we know.
No.
She's a little sleepy.
She's very sleepy, and she recognizes it later. But like, I think she's been beat down because she had come to the conclusion that yes, like, spinster life is the life for me. And Violet's like, no, it's not. We have this thing to uphold. And so she's like trying to stand up for herself, sort of, but just retreating to being a child.
And this is the first season where like Kate and Anthony like aren't there. Daphne's not there. Like, everybody has like
Daphne's presence is crazy. I'm sorry. Her non-presence.
I don't even think we've said her name.
They did one time. Hyacinth has said she talked to Daphne about something, and I think that was in the first half, or it was in this episode.
But that poor actress, she said that she wants to come back. Yeah, they really do the serial aspect of we're moving on miniseries. But like, it's also the first debut season where not only is Penelope out as like they're married, she is Lady Whistledown. So like, she has all of this out, like, her attention is split in all of these other ways. So I'm like, Eloise does have a lot of time to like mope in the dark corners. And I think she's also kind of realizing that like, it's not as fun to do that when you're by yourself.
Yes.
Like, you need someone to bounce off, like, the comedic relief off of.
And this, I felt like, was short-sighted in how they set up Michaela's entrance last season, because her and Eloise were like friends and holding hands, and they went away. Like they were in.
Oh, yeah. She went to Scotland.
Yes, like they were all there. I don't understand why. I know Michaela we haven't started talking about her yet, but like I feel like they should have had some type of friend connection.
Wait, I fully forgot about that because you're right. They
Yes.
didn't. It was not even a little bit of hinted or addressed
Mhm.
that I forgot that they were seemingly friends.
Yes.
Huh. Weird. Oh, so then Benedict, after he pulls Sophie aside, he concocts his master plan. The sentence that he decides to say, which he's got to be thinking about this whole time. He planned the perfect thing. She's like, literally, what the fuck do you want? And he's like, I'm waiting for an answer. I'm so sorry. You're waiting for an answer on, please tell me there's another question. No.
Yes.
Will you be my mistress? You talked to Mondridge. He told you. You had to ask, is that a bad question to ask? And he says, yes. And then you go, well, I still kind of want an answer to that bad question.
Mhm.
What? I guess English literature is not the art he has great skill in.
No. I mean, we know his French is bad. We know that he just likes to draw, and he was surprised by the literature that she knew. So, yeah, I think literature is not his forte.
Yeah, words, he's not the best with words.
Mm-hmm. And not just words, but deciphering what things mean.
Yeah, his reading comprehension.
Yeah. Context clues, all of it's off.
No.
And meanwhile, Penelope gets pulled into mistress drama.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much gossip, and I'm like, in this, so there's gossip from Benedict's friend, Mr. Hiscox, having a mistress named Virginia, and she addresses it in Lady Whistledown, but it's very discreet about that. And in this, are we to believe that Colin told her this information because he knew it from when they went out drinking?
Well, I think the whole thing is that like that's why they do the montage of them like walking in the Tond and like seeing each other. So I think it's supposed to be like it's not subtle at all. Like she's gotten tips. But I don't think Colin has enough firing up there to remember that happened to then tell Penelope. Like he is not. I also think part of the reason, like I think that if he was a great sidekick, like Whistledown would be doing very differently. Like he's just a little like.
I mean, before he knew that she was Whistledown, that's all they would do was sit and gossip together.
I just think that he has been pussmatized. Like he's just like.
Yeah, in this scene, her tits are up to her neck.
Yep.
And he is sitting there very like fawning because her mom is mad because she's like, why haven't you named anybody? Why aren't you saying names? And he just seems very, go girl, like, yay, that's my woman. She
go,
did
Tifa,
a great
go.
job.
It's like, Colin, any thoughts up there?
Right.
I love my girl. But so the thing that I'm confused about is like, we see Virginia in the Tond in like a nice outfit. Like, what is her title? And like, is she just like, is this one of those things because we only really deal with like high rankings? And I forget all the time that there's like a middle ground. Like there's like working professionals that don't work in, I don't know, they like own a bookstore, like or the dressmaking woman. Like what? So when Benedict is talking to Sophie about like being his mistress. I can't remember if it's later or before this, but he tells her, you wouldn't have to be a maid anymore. I would take care of you. We just couldn't be out together. So I think she's just a kept woman. But then who does she hang out with? Like, who are you allowed to be friends with if you're a mistress?
I think you can be, I think she can move in between. Like, I think that she can, like, if she was somebody's maid before, like, they would still have some type of relationship. And then the people that she work with, they would still have a relationship. So I think that middle ground can move in between the two.
Okay, and it's all just riding on the fact that as long as you're, like, you can be obvious about it, but as long as it's not, like, confirmed, then it's, like, not as much of, like, social exile for him. Because I was a little confused by that, because I'm like, is she also married to someone else? Because, like, she seems to be in this world still and like feels very comfortable in this world, So I'm like, what? Maybe she just had like a rank that was low enough that his family, or she didn't have a dowry. Like her rank, she was within high society, but like the lowest rung of high society. But yeah, because I was like, also, how did you meet? I was confused by it, but that makes sense. And I was gonna say, did you notice that the mutton chops have been very slowed down this season?
Yes. Like I told you the last episode, looking at first season compared to now, everybody was rough. Even the girls, except for Daphne.
Yeah. Well, they give everyone, I've heard rumors that they like make the person who's supposed to have the season next, in this season prior, they kind of like tone them down, whether that's like makeup doesn't look so great so they can have like a big glow up.
Yeah. But Benedict has always been like a playboy, so he didn't need that.
No, they just shaved they really they tapered. They deeply tapered and thinned the mutton chops on all these men, which thank God, because truly I don't care how hot you are. Like that to me is like I can't look past it.
Jonathan Bailey looked so bad the first season.
I know. He's got the Jake Paul hairpiece.
How am I
supposed to want to watch this person
right?
cook? That's why it was so hard to tell me on the show.
Yes, I know. But
I'm like, these unshowered mutton chops, you want me to watch them munch down on some carpet? I'm not interested in that.
No.
Not at all.
But also Queen Charlotte is upset with Penelope too. Hiscox ends the relationship with Virginia and his family name, and Virginia storms into Penelope's mother's home to tell Penelope that Whistledown ruined her. And I'm like, does Penelope just hang out at her mom's house all day?
I wonder that. And I go, and you couldn't pay Varley more? Like, you guys are just, there's a baby. And by the way, where is your baby?
Being taken care of by one of the hired help.
Yep. Pay him more.
Well, they're probably getting paid by the Bridgerton money.
Well, and Lady Whistledown money.
Yeah. But I think, like, specifically for the baby, it's like...
Oh, yeah, because that's a Bridgerton baby.
Yeah. And then Penelope is becoming increasingly uncomfortable with Whistledown since going public. And, like, Virginia's confirmation just pushes her over the line. And then Queen Charlotte summons Penelope and complains that she isn't naming names like she used to, failing on her job. Penelope argues that now she's no longer an outsider. So the writer-audience power imbalance doesn't sit right. It's not fun, it's not helpful, and she wants to quit the column and pursue other writing. And of course, Queen Charlotte is like,
no.
Bitch, no.
You're gonna cancel my favorite TV show? Fuck that. And I was like, of course that's what she's gonna say. But I mean, she's not wrong. Penelope's not wrong, because it's what we've been saying, where I'm like, you can't get good gossip when everybody knows it's you unless you wear that pirate costume every day.
Because that really had everybody fooled.
They were like, my God, who is that woman making out with Colin Bridgerton? I don't know, maybe his motherfucking wife? The only other bitch with
no, they didn't even
red hair
here.
Yeah, of course.
She had blonde hair in that scene.
I guess.
Yeah.
They would have loved a Cinderella story. They'd have been like, where is Hilary Duff? I cannot see her.
Well, it's in this story, essentially. Then Benedict runs into Hiscox at the drinking club, and that dude is drunk and devastated. And seeing that, Benedict's like, I can't have a life like that.
No, and he's like, I have two options. And he essentially said, I can kill myself or I can drink myself to death. And I'm like, okay, drama queen. Let's dial it back a little bit from there. Buy your wife something very nice and apologize.
Gosh. Well, it's just Virginia's that man's love.
Well, get her a side piece then. Get your wife a side piece.
Then back at the Bridgerton house, Sophie slips into Benedict's study and finds all these sketches of her as the Lady in Silver and also herself. And I'm just like, okay, now you have these drawings of her as the Lady in Silver and her normally. We don't see that these look the same.
Have we ever tried a side-by-side? Like, this man has tunnel vision in the way that, like, I think he quite literally doesn't have peripheral vision. Like, if car coming this way, he'd be like, what is that? he's getting hit. He's
Also
getting hit
because
by
he
the
doesn't
train.
know what a car is.
Exactly. That's what I said too. He's like, well, what is that? But like, truly, you could stab that man, not just in the back, on the side of his face, and he would have no idea it's coming because he's just can't see it. Can't see it.
Blinders. Benedict then walks in and he starts making her promises, telling her that the lady in silver doesn't matter. He wants Sophie. He tries to kiss her. She hesitates. And then she's like, why is this suitable? And that hits him a little bit. Sophie calls him out on the double standard. He feared ruining the lady in silver, but feels free to kiss her and take her virtue and dignity. A maid, becoming a mistress would destroy Sophie's chance at a respectable life, livelihood, and potentially marriage. Benedict has no answer for that. He gets flustered and leaves. But also, he's still not doing what Montrose told him to do.
But also, like, even the conversation that they had prior, I'm like, my guy, like, is this 51st date? You're just, like, waking up and being, like, starting fresh again. I'm like, you're not even retaining the fucking things that she said before. Like, you're not learning. You're not figuring it out at fucking all. And she said a line, which I was like, okay, I hope you get it now. But I literally wrote in all capitals, why is he not fucking getting it? She said, I may not be as high as a lady, but I refuse to be that low. Like being a mistress. And he's just like, he's not understanding it
He's
at
not
all.
Clocking what she's saying.
No. He's unfamiliar with clocks. He can't read time.
Right.
He likes his paintbrushes.
There, Araminta is on her sorrows tour. She said after her husband died, then the Penwood title went to his cousin, who let Araminta stay at the house. So we're getting the backstory on why she had to move. Let them stay at the house, but he got married, and it's like, y'all got to leave now. I'm like, the house is huge. You couldn't just let them be in another wing? No. There's in the Bridgerton house. There are 2 million people living there.
Huge. We're finding new floors every day.
Yeah.
Massive.
Oh, and so then, now that Araminta is next door to Sophie, she can run into Alfie now, and he thinks that he can get Sophie a job back at Penwood House. Now that Araminta isn't there, then she can go back. And then that would minimize the chances of running into Benedict while staying in Mayfair.
That part was I understand. I like know the title shift, but I was like, what are the I was like the name shift that you can have so many of these same people with the same last name. I was like, well, that's exactly where she shouldn't be. And I go, okay, no, it's fine. It's different people, all of that.
Yeah, it's a cousin. And technically, she is related to them, too.
Yep.
Then later, Sophie and Benedict fight in the study. Sophie has also already told Violet that she plans to leave and asks for a letter of introduction. Violet asks Sophie to stay through Hyacinth's recital for the dance class, and Sophie agrees to delay leaving for a few days. And unaware, it triggers Violet's protectiveness and suspicion.
And her horny nature.
Violet's horny nature?
Yeah, because, she's being suspicious. And when she's getting suspicious, I think she's getting a little hornier. And that's why we've got her little moments at the recital.
True.
With her man.
So Violet presses Sophie on whether something happened to make her want to leave, and Sophie denies it, but Violet doesn't buy it at all.
Violet knows her boys.
She does.
She knows her fucking boys.
She's been watching. What Benedict lacks, Violet has.
Mm-hmm.
And then Violet catches a slip. Sophie nods along about these famous owls that are in the place that Sophie claims to be from, but that place is known for ducks and not owls. And so Violet sends Mrs. Wilson to investigate more information. And then Mrs. Wilson finds a housekeeper who remembers working with a Miss Beck years ago, being Sophie's mother. And Violet concludes that Sophie took her mother's surname because she's illegitimate. And so now Violet just really has her thinking cap on, and she's like hoping that Sophie might secretly be nobility, so then she could be quote unquote suitable. And she has fully clocked that something is happening between Benedict and Sophie.
Then we have the recital, and I'm sorry, that shit was fucking adorable. To see
so cute!
A bunch of middle schoolers, I go, this looks like Sadie
Even
Hawkins.
though they are all like 1819.
By the way, they shot them from a down little angle. They looked petite. They did. Literally, they looked like the Madeline going to like all the kids going to school. And the outfits were so cute. The fact that we got to like see how some of like the kids have like grown up and gotten a little bit older, like the Mondrich.
The Mondrich boy. Oh my god.
He was so precious.
So cute.
I loved it. And I loved like seeing how Gregory, is that the Gregory and Hyacinth like reacted to like the different people. And like Gregory's like, I'm in love.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done.
Fully
and I
in
love. I mean, he's keeping up with the family
I was
tradition.
about to say, Hyacinth might be the one to join Penelope and produce
a white child.
A white child. Because Violet is looking at the picture of all the grandbabies, and there is one redhead. And that's it. And that's it. And so I was like, maybe Hyacinth is, I guess we'll see. But she didn't end up liking that boy.
Yeah.
But...
actually... Never mind. I know something from the books, so...
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. But at the same time that this is all going on, love is in the air, romance is in the air, kids are stepping on each other's feet, they're trying their best, Benedict looking longingly at Sophie, but then Violet caressing or looking lovingly at
Lord Anderson.
Lord Anderson. And he notices that. And suddenly in that moment, the man who has fucked his way through the Tond, in and out, people outside, he is now, my mother is a whore. And if she says even a word to me, I'm going to throw that back in her face, which he does when she basically is like, literally leave Sophie alone. Like, leave Sophie alone. She cannot do this. Like, you're putting all of these kinds of things. And he goes, well, I know that you're hooking up. And my favorite part, though, is prior to this, to like kind of like to tell the kids, because it's Hyacinth's recital that she threw. She was like, I have a friend. And they're like,
yes. Okay. They're so clueless. And like, we see this man all the time.
Yeah,
he's here so
Lady
much.
Danbury's brother? Yeah. Like he's been to our house.
Sniffing around you at every ball we go to. Like, yeah, we know who that man is.
I was just so confused because I'm also like, how big is the Tond? Like, don't you know these people by name?
Gregory and Hyacinth aren't going to the ball, so Hyacinth sneaks in sometimes. But like, he's still been over to the house. They've been caressing pinkies on the couch, even when they weren't having tea up in her room. Also, which I found out that Shonda wrote that scene.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And if
she was like, let me just the showrunner. She said, Shonda rarely chips in, but she said, let me have a crack at this scene.
The way if anyone's like only introduction to like the Shondaverse is Bridgerton, I need you to watch, specifically if you want to talk about sex. And I guess I can only go from the shows that I watch, but the sex scenes in Scandal and like
Scandal's on a different level.
The build up to like the how you get there when you. By the way, you can know something's going down just based on the music that you start hearing. You go, there it goes.
Yep,
that's the Vermont music. Nope, that's the Jake music. Like it is. You've never like that is motherfucking yearning. That is motherfucking yearning. God, I love
so much so that years later, certain people are still yearning after each other.
Yes. It was written so well that they go, I actually do yearn for her. And I do yearn for him.
Sophie, like, has panicked and run away from Benedict. And while he's chasing her, that's when his mom stops him. And he's like, pot meet kettle, bitch. He didn't say that, but I could see it in his eyes.
It was truly, I was like, hold up. Like, you want to come after someone for like having sex? You will lose this game. You will lose. Your mom had sex with your father and now one other man, 18 years later.
It's Hyacinth's age, so
isn't
12
she 18?
years. No. She's like 12 on the show.
Oh God, I can't.
In real life, she's 18.
Yeah, so 12 years later, like, I had to watch your naked butt and pull you out of a bed with two different sex workers. Like, are you kidding me? I can't.
Yeah. And so Alice Mondrich is looking for her son during this time. Can't find him. So she's wandered around. Did she ever find him? Don't know. We didn't get closure on that.
I was like,
I guess so. They went home.
They just needed an excuse for her to be near there.
Yes. And so
she could overhear.
Yes. Sophie and Benedict in his room. Yes, they were definitely in his room, arguing about the same thing they've been arguing about this whole episode.
How, like, love isn't enough and all of this stuff. But very clear that, like, they care about each other, not just, like, this is physical.
Yeah. And
this is also where he reveals that he loves Sophie.
Yes.
And my response to that would have been, like, you love me? Give up your title. If that's how much you motherfucking... Like, don't come out here with this, like, I love you, I care about you, we're gonna make this work. And I go, you're trying to have your cake and eat it too. Like, you are trying to do... Like, there's a huge, huge difference between, like saying fuck it and disgracing your family name and, like, ruining the future for your sisters. I don't want to do that, obviously. Yeah. But there is a difference between that and, like, moving... Like, if you're gonna make these whole things or whatever, you want me to give up, like, so much shit, but you don't want to give up anything. And, like, I'm not saying that you should have to give up your relationship with your family or you should have to give up all of these things, but you are expecting me to give up... I already had to go through the hardships of losing my only family member, not having a good family, all of those things. I've already had to endure that. And now you want me to be like, well, your life kind of already sucks. So, like, who cares if it's your... Like, it sucks a little more for you. Like,
and then you can't talk to anybody else the rest of your life.
No. What?
And Sophie's like, do you even think about me? And then he goes, every moment of every day. And I'm like, ugh.
To be fair, Sophie it's working. It's working on her.
Yes. And that is all that he can think about, truly. So he's not lying. It's not a lie.
He's just not listening very well.
He says he understands her fears, but there's no other way for them. The thought of spending every single day without her torments him. And she's taken possession of him and shocked him back into life. And I was like, you were living a pretty fun life before.
No, he's like, you put me into celibacy. And, like, now I can't sleep with anybody because I need to know what it's like to sleep with you.
Yeah.
Which...
It's like, I felt that, kitty, but I need to be in there.
Yep. Which leads us to, I guess, nobody, despite the fact that now 2 people know where they are, and they said, don't go up there, leave her alone. He said, checkmate, nope, you leave us alone, because now it's time for us to have sex.
Yes, he...
Upstairs at my
during
little
a party.
Sister's recital.
How where thick are Sophie is supposed to be working. Like, she is supposed to be... That? Right, like, she's supposed to be with Hyacinth, but Violet knows where they are. So I guess the person that would be really questioning it knows what's happening.
But I'm like, Violet, you're not doing a good enough job trying to keep them apart. Like,
no.
You told them not to go. They're up there. And guess what they're doing now? They are fucking. And my question is... He has
cleared off the side table. Alice is like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I know what's happening.
Oh, okay. Got it. You love her and you're about to love her. So my thing is, do you think this is where the trope of, like, the sexy maid costume came from? Because I'm like, her dress as a maid with that little coffee filter in her hair is really doing it for him. And she strips off.
She takes it off the way her hair just cascades down.
I go, I'm so sorry. That is a coffee filter. That would have created a massive dent in the hair. But also... I actually didn't realize how many goddamn layers she's wearing. Like, one thing comes off, and there's another. Oh, another thing comes off. Oop, and then it looks like she's wearing, like, compression socks. So I was like, good. Prevent those varicose veins. You're on your feet all day. And he is like, let me peel off these compression socks. Like, he's on, quite literally, his hands and knees for her.
Yeah, and he confesses again for, I think, like, the 3rd time that he loves her. And then Sophie finally says that she loves him, too.
And they proceed to bone in every which way, despite her saying, go slow, because, like, this is my first time. And I was like,
I mean,
it's never...
She said, I've heard it hurts, but we saw her masturbating before, so she probably broke it before. She also knows how to ride a horse.
But I'm thinking more so about, like, she was very pleasantly surprised when she saw him come out of the lake.
Oh, yeah.
That is not something that's not a hymen thing. That's a girth and, like, do you know what I mean?
That's true.
So that's the part that I'm like, that would, unless you're, like, I don't know, sticking, like, a dowel from, like, a bedpost up there. Like, this is going to be different for you. And it's like,
she might be.
Never a biblically accurate virginity losing scene ever. The only movie and TV show, I would say that did that well. And the whole time, every time I've been like, oh my God, they need to do an accurate one. Then I watched one that was accurate that I said, I don't like that because that is too spot on, is The Spectacular Now. It is like so painfully fucking awkward that I was like, okay, that was very accurate.
I feel like in Love and Basketball, it's kind of accurate too.
I've only seen it on E, so I don't think I've ever seen the full...
No, you haven't seen the full horror movie that is.
No, I haven't. I've only ever seen it on E. Matt and I literally brought it up. I was like, have you seen this? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, now that I'm older, I know for a fact that I have not seen all parts of it.
No.
And I do want to see it.
And that actually might be one of the only scene that might have been cut out of that.
Well, they cut things out for time.
For time,
too.
yeah.
Because that was how I was with
That's a long movie too.
Just Right.
Yeah.
Like there were so many parts of that I had not seen.
Mm-hmm.
But that I was also probably in and out of channels.
Also, while all this is going on, well, like days before, I think, maybe, at the Kilmartin house, Francesca and Michaela aren't getting along too well.
No, and she keeps complaining about John in Parliament. And I'm like, girl, at least your husband has a job.
Yeah.
All of these other men have no job. Like, he has a job.
But also, she is used to her silence. Like, her and John just sit there in silence. They make love in silence. They do everything in silence. And while Michaela's there, he's very chatty and staying up to 4 o'clock in the morning. And
which also makes her insecure because she was like, wait, this is not a side of your personality I've ever seen and I've never been able to bring out. And like,
but also, that's not really right now. Like, her mom's whole thing is her mom is always like, I'm trying to help you get out of your shell. And in last season, it was kind of like, we're just accepting that this is who Francesca is.
Yeah. And she's like, do I feel like, are you sacrificing a part of your personality because I'm not this like loud and boisterous kind of energy?
Yeah. But, around your family, you're different.
Totally.
But she's like, I am your family now. You are my everything.
But you know what's also crazy, though? For as big as the Bridgerton family is, where are their cousins?
Well, does Violet have any siblings?
I don't know. They all have a bajillion
I don't
babies
remember when she was little. I don't remember she had siblings. And then their cousins would be whoever their parents.
Kids. Like, they have, 9 children? And there's not 8 and not a single cousin?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it would make... I actually think canonically they don't have cousins because that's why Francesca's so confused about their relationship. Because she goes, why are they so... Why is she so loud? Is she so energetic? And I go, have you never had a kid cousin? Like, I was the kid cousin. That was my role. Mm-hmm. Being annoying.
They also have a little dinner party and Francesca wants to set up Michaela with a fella. And John is like, no, she does not want to be set up. She wants to be a spinster for the rest of her life. Just, let her be. At this dinner party, the men are all goo-goo gaga for Michaela.
And he's done everything besides, my cousin is a raging lesbian. Drop it, Francesca.
Does Francesca even know what a lesbian is?
No, but John, without a doubt, does. Like,
yes.
John is trying to, communicate with her through blinks and Morse code, being like, she does not want to. And she's just like, what? And I'm like, oh my God. He's like, God fucking damn it.
Oh gosh. And so this Lord Taylor, which I was laughing because of
Lord and Taylor.
the Lord and Taylor department stores that no longer exist. Lord Taylor is very much taken. He was cute.
He was cute.
He was very much taken. And I was like, go pass him off to Eloise or something. I don't know. And Michaela is not interested. She's also pissed. She leaves. John is now angry with Francesca. And then Francesca's drunk and then follows Michaela.
I also didn't know that the women were allowed to get drunk. I was like, whoa, this is new.
They got drunk at that one party that last season where Penelope passed out. They were all drinking there.
Oh, yeah. True.
And so Francesca goes after Michaela. Michaela's like, leave me alone. And Francesca ignores her. And they have their first real conversation. Francesca admits that she feels inadequate as a wife. And Michaela's ease with John just makes her feel worse. And Michaela reassures her, saying that Francesca has nothing to worry about. Michaela admits that she feels secure with very few people, and John is one of them because they've been through so much together. And then at that moment, Michaela and Francesca decide to be friends.
I was also like, what have you been through together at this point? Like,
I think both their dads died.
Oh, but they have so much in common. Okay, but I was like, they didn't go through
Yeah, I just think they
together at the
grew
same
up
time.
like basically as
Yeah.
siblings.
I also, the time jumps always confuse me because I'm like, in my mind, you are still newlyweds. Like, you're still getting to know each other. And like, this is the part that's also confusing. How long was she in Scotland with you guys? Like, this feels like a brand new issue that you're having with her that I'm like, wasn't she there
She
in
was,
Scotland?
but in the first part, like, John is talking about Michaela and Francesca's like, I don't want to talk about that bitch. And it's like, what happened in Scotland?
What happened?
And like, again, why do Eloise and Michaela not have some type of friendship?
No, it's so confusing because like this conversation that they have makes total sense. But if she was in Scotland, this conversation would have happened in Scotland. Like this would have happened. They would have stayed up too late. She would have snapped. Like the same thing would have happened earlier. And so I'm like, so was she like not around, or was like, did something shift in your relationship? Because you have a bunch of built up resentment to her, and she's got like, she's very awkward with you, but she's also kind of, when she arrives, is like kind of pushing her buttons, knowing that like it pisses Francesca off or like makes her uncomfortable. And so I want to know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, because also there was a conversation while John said that Francesca kept her distance away from Michaela.
Yeah, where'd she go? What'd she do?
And that is episode 5.
It is. And I loved it.
Such a good episode. It was a good episode. Like, in theory, I don't like the split of the seasons, but I think you can tell that they wrote for the split.
Yes.
And it makes sense.
Yes. Well, because there's nothing I hate more than when something ends on a cliffhanger and then the first episode back is like, here's what you missed. Or just like, we're going to start a whole new storyline. I go, no, I need us to get to that. I need us to not dilly-dally. I hate when there's like a massive time jump in that space where it's like, remember 2 weeks ago when that happened? I'm like, no, pick right up and let me tell me what happened.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
Then we get on to episode 6, which essentially opens with Benedict saying, Sophie, you don't got to go to work, but you got to put in work.
Yeah.
You can work from home.
Oh, so yes, this is where they had that conversation.
Yep. You can work from home. And by home, he means my cottage.
And this episode is called The Passing Winter. It's like, okay.
I forget that there's titles of streaming episodes.
So, yeah, Sophie's very skeptical of all that, of course, because why would she believe any of that? She doesn't really believe that love can overcome those stakes because she'll suffer the consequences while Benedict is determined to prove it can.
See, now would be a really great time for like Sophie to mention that she is a illegitimate child.
I was screaming this. This is where I started screaming this. Even Violet, it has been asking her. Like, Violet knows something's up. She's like, you speak French, you read, you can read. You're obviously...
You're a literate bastard, right?
Yeah.
Like that. She's trying so hard to be polite about it. She goes, I know you're a bastard. You know you're a bastard. Like, can you tell me? Right. And the way that like... By the way, Benedict and Sophie are perfect for each other because the way that they will sit on incredibly pertinent, important information and then pick, I didn't think it was important. And I'm like, dummies.
Yeah. Also, Sophie is scared she's going to get pregnant. And I was like, maybe we should have thought about that before.
Did no one think about pulling out? Like, isn't that the...
His whole thing is like he hasn't got anyone pregnant. He probably was trying to get her pregnant, to be honest.
Well, that's what I was like, by the way, she should be worried because that man is definitely trying to get her pregnant.
Because he knows how not to get people pregnant.
Yes.
He told his mother that.
Yeah, he said, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. And with her, and he said, nope, I'm shooting straight loads.
Right.
And I am hoping they stick, motherfucker. I was just, but I did think it was sweet when she was like, we got caught up and he was like so offended. And he was like, I was not caught up. I love you. And it was like, okay, stupid. I love you. And starts getting annoyed with her, which I do think was, sweet. it does work for me. Like, he pisses me off, but I'm like, I can't say that I behave any differently.
No. So he writes to the Crabtrees and tells them to get my cottage ready, and he has named it to our cottage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is the part where we're just keep talking about mistresses, and Mats is doing a mistress impression that is so bad. The voice he's doing is similar to... Okay, you've seen Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
No.
Oh my God, that was my like softball launch to you to be like, that'll be the one she'll know. I won't even try the harder one.
I mean, I know what a pirate...
Okay, so he's doing essentially a British pirate accent pretending to be a mistress, but in this case, the character he's playing is if Colin Bridgerton became an actual pirate, and he is the mister of that. And so he gave you that, oh my, but like going on and on. I had to ban it, and thank God that man fell asleep because I couldn't get through a fucking second of this without him doing that impression.
But where did it even come from? Like, where did he decide this is the voice that
Your
fits?
guess is as good as mine. By the way, the mistress, the role that he played, it was always a male mistress. Like, there was never any... I don't know where it came from, but he had been doing it, and this is where I wrote down, I put a stop to the mistress voice because I was like, I cannot move on from it. It made me laugh so fucking hard, but specifically because they would talk about, like, it'd be like, oh, well, she'd be like, well, a mistress can't do this. You go, oh, I can't do that as a mistress. It was just ridiculous.
I'm gonna have to gag him.
No, he fell asleep. I didn't put him in a sleeper hold, but I was
gonna
close.
say, did you?
I put him asleep. I was like, time to go to sleep. But I do feel like we're talking so much about mistresses that I'm like, I was waiting and I was so nervous that Benedict was going to orchestrate a sit down with Virginia and Sophie to be like, she'll tell you how great it is. I was like, no.
He would do that. Honestly, he would.
I thought he was going to do that. And I was like, I'm sorry. So you heard in one ear and out that you heard that he had a mistress. You missed the part where they broke up. You missed the part where he said, I should probably just kill myself. You missed all of that. And you're like, why don't you talk to her and tell her how great it is to be a mistress? Or he should have gotten on Alfie's side because Alfie was kind of like, sounds kind of hot. Why don't you just do it? Pretty fun.
Crazy.
This is also where we finally get our first introduction to the most disrespected character of this season, Kate Bridgerton. Where the fuck has she been?
Having a baby. They've been in India.
Yeah, but then they're like, oh, she's going to stay in India and I'm going to come back first. Why? Stop.
She said she was
her.
tired. She said she was tired.
I just wanted more scenes of her.
We can only deal with what is being dealt with that we see on the screen. And she said that she was tired. Maybe she needed a break from getting her pussy ate. I don't know. But
I did write down, I'm surprised his face left her pussy long enough for her to get pregnant.
Yeah. So they had traveled. She was somewhere close, but not there. But she said she was tired. Maybe she just needed a break before she got to the 10 million people that live at the Bridgerton home.
Yeah, she's like, I had to actually mentally prepare for all your motherfucking siblings.
So we get a cute scene with them and their baby named Edmund after the father.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is now the confirmation that Benedict is no longer the spare because there's now an heir. I
love when everyone like gets along and everyone's all friends, all the girls. Like, I love when there's like the scenes of like girls being girls. But this is where we have Araminta decides that Violet has been avoiding, right?
Yeah, like 3 meetings.
I was like, oh, she's so me. They're like, send her to voicemail.
Yeah.
Has been avoiding.
Leave her on red.
Constantly trying, Araminta, who's trying to call on her. And then finally, she's like, okay. But specifically, Araminta's trying to do this because she's trying to find Sophie.
Yeah, because Varley has told her. She's heard a rumor that Sophie might be working at the Bridgerton home. And that's also because Araminta has been so mean to Varley. And she's like at her breaking point because she didn't want to tell at first. But she's like, I have to give something so I don't get fired. Yep.
And so we, very, very clearly, Violet puts the pieces together that this is the family. Because as soon as Sophie walks in, she's like, fuck, and turns right back around.
And Posey creates a distraction of coughing.
I love Posey.
She's so cute.
I want Posey in the next season. Like, I don't want her to be gone. I love her. And then we very quickly have like Violet putting all the pieces together and then defending Sophie when Sophie's not even in the room.
Yep.
And I was like, that's your mother-in-law. That's your mother-in-law.
Violet goes and checks on Sophie in her room, and Sophie explains that the stolen shoe clips and that whole ordeal, which turns out they were plastic anyway, so fucking liar. And Araminta never paid her once in 7 years. And Violet is firmly on Sophie's side, but worries that Araminta is determined, so it may be the safest for Sophie to find work elsewhere. And then this is when Violet finally gives in to Sophie's request for a letter. And also, Sophie is marking off in her little calendar book the days until her period starts.
Which, how fucking regular could you be? Like, at that
But
point
you know,
in time?
like when you have a pregnancy scare, you are overly just like scared about things.
That's true. But I'm just like, you better hope that you're, because she like already at this point, she's like already touching her stomach. And I'm like, babe, you might just, you're not even late, but like
No,
you might just be a day late.
And also, PMS exists. Like, are you just bloated? You just cramping? I don't know.
Sounds like you kind of want to have a baby.
Sure does.
Yep. Specifically, his baby.
Mm-hmm. And she's spiraling.
Spiraling.
Then Anthony and his new beard.
Yep.
Sexy
He's
beard.
looking really good.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoo. Okay. Like, by the way, if I'm on that show, thank God you are gay, because I don't think I would be acting well.
The way that he falls in love with every woman on set anyway that he's with, I just can't.
No, he's just there's also like an ease and a safety of like knowing that like you can like get closer, because like in general when you do that on shows with boys, they go, I think she likes me now, and I'm like, quite literally no, we are getting paid to do this. Humping
a pillow. Like,
yep. Yeah, it's not romantic, my guy.
Then Benedict and Anthony are at the drinking club, and Anthony tells him that he needs to end his dalliance. Benedict calls Anthony a hypocrite because Anthony had his own scandal going on.
But also, this is where I wrote down, I love rake on rake crime. It was just like, because they're both like, he's like, you're a whore. And he goes, learn from the fucking best, you whore.
Right. Thanks, like, big brother.
Well, I'm no longer a whore. Okay, but you were a whore, and I'm no longer a whore now. And it's just like, it is like so funny. And then you have Colin like, what's going on?
Yeah. Just blissfully unaware.
Yeah. I love my
He's
wife.
like, yeah, she made me go out tonight. Yeah. And then Anthony warns Benedict that he could damage their sisters and they won't have any prospects, and he's signing himself and Sophie up for a hard life. And Benedict feels patronized and storms out with a bitter, thank God you're back.
Well, and Andy says something that I think is like the part that I'm like, that should at least fucking click for you, where he was like, our mom is a saint, but even she would not be able to, like, she can't control that. Like, you're going to lose mom. And like, she's never going to walk away from you or walk out on you, but like things are going to change with the family. And like, we can't control that part of it. It's not a choice the family's making to do. It's just like the consequence of that, which I was like, maybe now he'll motherfucking get it.
Nope, because then he doubles down and he has Sophie meet him at the conservatory with flowers and candles and blankets.
He's wearing like a Snuggie, being like, look what I did.
He gives her our cottage drawing and lays out the plan. And it's imperfect, not what she deserves, but it's better than them being apart. And he opens up about how much he hates society and says he's cared for both women and men.
Yeah, he literally was like, so I set up this whole thing and I brought you here to tell you I have also had sex with men. Do you still like me?
And she just like, okay. Like she's like, not fazed at all.
Not at all.
And he's like, he said, I refuse to be ashamed of any of that. And she still loves him. She loves how he is.
It's just so funny, the double standards, because she decides to come out to him as being a illegitimate child. And he's like, I'm coming out to you as a massive fucking whore. I'm coming out to you as the most run through man in the ton. And just for transparency's sake, got a little bit of everything.
Yep.
And she's just like, okay. And it's just like, it's like the picnic that like a middle school boy sets up to like ask a girl to be his girlfriend. And it's like, no, this is instead to be like, so I want us to move here. Before we go, you homophobic? And she's like, no, I'm cool. And he's like, okay, cool.
Great. And Sophie's, like, her whole core problem is that Benedict holds all the power. If he changes his mind and they, like they have a kid, then they're left to be destitute and promises are easily broken because she's speaking from personal experience. So she thinks.
Yeah.
That's when she reveals all that. She's an illegitimate. And then Benedict promises, I will be bound to you in every way that counts, and asks for a chance to prove what he means by that.
And I like that her response to him saying that was, more love is always a thing to be proud of. I was like, wow, you are. And that is what I would have given her a look going, yeah, you were raised in nobility. That is such a specific way to say that. But now it's time that Kate has finally arrived.
Yes.
And we get to meet the baby. And I cackled at Eloise just going, good day to the baby. I was like, oh, she's still in there. She may be sleepy, but she is still in there. Good day to the baby.
Right.
Good day, baby. And I do always forget because like I'm not like a period piece kind of person or a huge history person. I always forget that like how lineage and like titles work, where there's like this whole scene with him and like Lady Danbury where like Benedict is essentially meeting the baby that takes over the heir. Like he becomes the heir to this because it's the firstborn son is the heir. And when he dies, it's the firstborn son's son, not the secondborn son.
Yep.
And Lady Danbury's like, you're feeling love. And he says, I can't love him yet. I haven't even met him.
Right.
No, he says, I can't love him yet. I haven't even met the man.
Yeah.
Man, that's a baby. That's a 4-month-old. Like how they wrote that whole scene was just like cracking me up.
Yes.
Specifically because like I had to remind myself like, oh, they are talking about him like this because like he is in fact the heir to Bridgerton. So she's like, good day, sir.
Right.
To a baby.
Right.
That's a baby.
Oh, and through all this, Benedict also is watching Sophie in the room too. She's got her maid uniform on, and it hits him that he won't be able to have this when they have a child. He won't be able to have this moment with his family. And so he bolts.
I have to say, though, so I could like solve so many problems when we're watching these things. I'm like, if I was just the therapist of the character, we could solve this. Really, what he
then
needs,
there's no show.
Exactly. Really, what he needs to do is he needs to come out to his family and say, hey, I fucked a lot of dudes. And then have them be like, whoa, what? And he goes, but I'm settling down with a woman. She is a maid. Like, bait and switch. Like, throw them that one. Have them be like, wait, hold up. You're not going to produce an offspring, which is really what they care about.
They don't even need offspring. He doesn't need an offspring.
No, but Violet cares. Violet loves a baby. She wants
Violet
more
wants
grandbabies.
More grandchildren. Yeah. And then even this part, Anthony has learned about the My Cottage plans. And he hammers that any children that Benedict has will be cast out of society by their own family. And Anthony says he couldn't live with himself if he caused that child harm. So he can't sign off on what Benedict is doing. And Anthony's basically like, I should disown you right now, but I know you're going to make the right decision. Please do not make a fool out of me. And
I'm like, Anthony,
do you not know your brother?
Have you ever met your brother? He's not going to make the right decision, and he will certainly make a fool out of you.
He makes the right decision for himself. He doesn't waver at all. Sophie also overhears this argument, and she's the one that actually wavers. So once Sophie gets her period, which was weird. I'm like, I've never just felt my period like that, but okay.
You haven't?
Not while sitting, like if I stand up, but not
from sitting to standing. No,
like she's just sitting, but like if I stood up, then I would have felt it.
No,
but
that girl's got a heavy flow. There have been some time where I'm sitting and I go, in school and I go, well, it just happened. Actually, quite frequently when I was getting my period. So all that tells me is that's a heavy bleeder.
Okay.
I see you, sister. I see you, bloody sisters.
Yeah. So now that she knows that she has no child, it's clear to her that she'll take the new job in another house and in the relationship before it goes too far. She can't do this to him or his family, and since he can't walk away, she's going to do it for him.
Yep.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Tap the banner to learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
LifeLock, how can I help? The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Then we are with Queen Charlotte and Lady Whistledown. They're finally parting ways.
Well,
here.
so specifically, right before that, Eloise has like a conversation with Penelope, which I again thought was like really great growth of the character because like Eloise is like you said, she's starting to recognize her own privilege and like seeing that the way that her privilege exists in society, but society is society, and like how she interacts with it now is going to change about how she interacts with it when she's older, and like just kind of what a gilded cage it is. And so she expresses like feeling bad for the queen, essentially being like, you know, I feel that I am in this gilded cage as someone who does not want to marry. And like, in theory, that's great that I don't want to marry. That's totally fine. But like the concept to me of not marrying when like you and I were both single, reading our books, hanging out is very different than like me in 20 years, everybody has paired off and like I'm alone. Like that I don't really get to do the things that I want to do in this version of spinsterhood. Like this does kind of suck. Like there are limitations here and like it's lonely. And she was like, and I can't imagine how much lonelier it is for someone who's not just trapped within society, but within those 4 walls of the castle of society. And Penelope was like, oh.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's just like, it's that whole theme of feeling trapped in. Eloise is also softening on Hyacinth too.
Yeah.
And later she helps Hyacinth sneak into the ball.
Well, then Penelope hears that and she goes, that was really sweet speech. I'm actually going to throw that back into the queen's face so she will let me quit writing my little gossip blog.
Yeah. So while Penelope is having this conversation with the queen, Alice is coming up with her own little plan. And it's like, you know, the queen is also pissed that Cressida is back. So Cressida's back.
So Cressida's married the Penwood cousin, which I knew it was going to be her. I was like, that's who it's going to be. As soon as she stuck her wrist out, I was like, that's Cressida.
Long ass arms.
Yeah, and there's a lot of flailing going on. I say, I recognize that body type. I see that in the mirror. I see you. I see you.
Yeah, so Cressida, like we said, the new wife, because her aunt knew him.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And remember that Cressida got pretty much banished because she claimed to be Lady Whistledown and was lying the whole time. And so that pissed the queen off. And so now she's back and the queen is still pissed. And so then Alice comes up with a little plan.
Because Cressida's she's doing her reintroduction into society with a ball. And so she needs these people to come to essentially create the image that she is forgiven in public opinion. And Alice instead goes, sure, we could forgive, or we could make sure she knows that we don't forget.
Nope.
Genius.
Yeah, because Cressida is, Cressida is Cressida.
I wrote down being like, I can't remember if what she did was so bad that it warrants like us hating her this much. Like
she fooled the queen, so yes, it is.
No, but like the Benedict,
also before,
the Bridgerton family.
She was like mean to them. They didn't like her. I feel like it was mutual.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you guys were also like mean to her, and like she is annoying, and like you guys were also annoying. Like I think we can move past this. But the queen, I'm like, no, whatever you need to do, off with their heads. Like that's fine. I'm all for that. But Alice's plan is you should get Cressida to throw the ball in your honor, queen. And then maybe last minute you decide you're not really in the mood to go. So it's like all this talk and all this hubbub to basically show that, no, you actually don't have it like that with the queen. Like, you and the queen are not, you're not tight,
cool.
You're not close. She has not forgiven you. And it's
you should not, you need to leave.
Yeah, the whole public will know. Like, there's one thing about, like, slowly easing your way back into society, and another being like, I'm just gonna throw a big ball in my pink house and hope it's all water under the bridge.
Yep. Charlotte is very impressed with this, but, you know, in her own little way, she has to knock Alice down a peg and it's like, next time, wait to be called on before you're actually talked to.
But she does give her a look of being like, you sick fuck.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
like
good.
it a lot.
Hey, this we all three have in common? We're all sick little fucks.
Yeah. So Queen Charlotte is delighted. And I didn't know this until recently, that Queen Charlotte is not in the books at all. Like, this is a character that Shonda,
I knew that,
was like, we need
she
to
was
have in the
passionate
show.
about. But I thought she was in the books. I knew she didn't have her own book, so I knew that, like, Queen Charlotte was all that. But I didn't know that she was not. She's probably like just an omnipresence in the book, not like a
they don't even
character.
mention her.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, and she's my favorite. Like, she's by far easily my fucking favorite.
Yeah, and it's like, it makes, because they needed a character for Lady Danbury to talk to. So, like, all this, like, Lady Danbury was not her lady in waiting. Like, these are all just things that have been.
Well, it changes the stakes too. Like, and like, it keeps like a continuity through line of everything and all that.
Yeah. And the diamond of the season was not a thing in the book.
Oh, wow. I'm not reading the books now.
But I heard the men are very abusive in the books.
Well, if it's supposed to, everyone's like, the books are much more period accurate. And I go, I don't want that. Less showering, more abuse. Not interested in that part. But we should note that Penelope's plea to the queen about understanding that, you know, the gilded cage and all of these sort of things, she's got an idea of how we could essentially say goodbye to Lady Whistledown, coinciding with this ball in a way that looks favorably upon the queen and will start a lot of gossip and a lot of head turns. And she agrees because the queen is softening to understand that just because she is in this cage, she doesn't need to hold everybody else in that cage.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Which she's better than me, because I'd be like, no, I'm stuck here. You fuckers are stuck here with me.
And then make this face.
Yeah.
And Violet and Lord Anderson are together, and Violet frets over her clash with Benedict and the general setup with Marcus. She adores him, but worries about how her choices affect her children. And I'm like, Benedict is a grown-ass man.
So he's a fucking baby at the same time.
Marcus offers a way to make this less inappropriate: marriage. He says that he'll never replace Edmund, and he still thinks lovingly of his late wife, but he loves Violet and wants to be part of her world openly. And she says yes.
Every time he mentions his wife, I just keep going, Nessa, listen, Nessa, I've got something to confess. Because his wife's name was Nessa. And he goes, but Nessa. And I go, Nessa, Nessa.
And then back at the Kilmartin house, they're having breakfast, and even though there's a plate set next to John, Francesca goes and sits with Michaela next to her instead. And they are all giggly, and he is happy that they're friends now.
Yep. Then we get to the ball. It is so pink. And of all the balls for Eloise to sneak Hyacinth into disguise as a maid, which is like, nobody recognizes a maid. And I was like, your brother's going to find her in 0.5 seconds.
Yep. Because he's like, is that my girl? No,
Yeah.
that is my sister.
Oh, well, what are you doing that?
Yeah.
No. Which is so funny. But the ball has begun. It's so pink. It's so pretty. But very quickly, everybody is talking about the queen. When's the queen? There's a big-ass empty motherfucking throne. They're waiting for her to get there, We now see all of the Bridgertons are there. And they're like, Penelope, you sure this is what you want? Because, like, you guys have big beef. And she's like, no, this is good. I'm really happy you're here. Thank you so much. And I was like, wow, everybody is just cunt turned up to 100 right now. Like, so bitchy. And this is when, at the same time as the queen not arriving, there's a bump out. Like, there's like, you think it's the queen coming, and who comes instead but all of her footmen with silver platters of the latest And we find final edition of Lady Whistledown saying, hey, it's been fun. I love you guys. You're great. Thanks for the laughs. Have a good summer.
Yeah.
Kick ass. But I'm out.
And the queen is not coming.
Nope. Psych.
And it's such like good. Oh, the pettiness of it is just, it's like, Alice is an evil genius, to be honest.
I was like, unfortunately, Alice is going to be having the same, because
Right.
Queen Charlotte's never going to die in my mind. She's going to be having,
Well, the thing is, since now that I know that she's not in the books, I feel like she can live forever.
Yeah, because they're not history-wise, like they're taking little bits from history, but like this is still based on a book that she didn't exist in, so it's fine. She's gonna be essentially Lady Danbury in like 50 years, being like, please let me go. And she goes, no, I love you. Find me another raging bitch. Like, find me another absolutely like monstrous, messy, petty, vindictive, intelligent bitch. And like, okay, I'll let you. But I just like love how Penelope's like just sitting there smug, smiling, looking at everyone. Because also I'm like, we all know it's her. So she's just like, everybody just published like my last Gossip Girl blog. And then Colin just standing there, house husband, so happy. But I think you can see a twinge of sadness in his eye that R.I.P. to his house husband lifestyle. Because all he does is he waits for his wife to come home, hangs out with where his wife is, follows her wherever she goes, sits in the room where she's getting her hair brushed. And then on occasion when she wants him to leave, he goes and eats cheese with the other boys and like has his little like homoerotic moments, which is like anytime they have been sent away, they only ever hang out with their wives. So they like don't know how to like
be boys.
No, they don't know how. So they're just like, we're having cheese and we're like holding hands. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Also at the ball, John pulls Francesca outside to look at the stars like they did during their first meeting. He holds her so close and tells her that she's exquisite and perfect and that he loves her deeply. And she replies, I love you, John Sterling, always.
And if anybody wasn't spoiled, this was the moment that you go, uh-oh, something's gonna happen.
Yeah. So then the next day back at the house, Francesca, John, and Michaela spend the afternoon working on one of Francesca's puzzles. And John had, throughout this whole thing, worked on the ground. And Michaela was working on the sky. And they come to the last piece. That is where the sky and the ground meet. And they decide to do it together.
So sweet.
It's so sweet.
It's just like so sweet. And like, it's one of those things in the moments where it's like, and I'm like looking, it's like internal monologue. Like I'm looking around, like everything's perfect. Nothing can go wrong. And I'm like, and this is the moment where shit's about to go wrong.
Yeah.
And we've been told that he's stressed about Parliament and like, you know, he's just been having some headaches and he goes to take a nap, tells Francesca to wake him up like
before
in an hour.
dinner.
Before dinner.
Yeah, and him or Michaela and Francesca decide they're going to work on another puzzle together. So they've been working on a puzzle. He goes up to bed.
She comes upstairs. The hours pass. She comes upstairs, like giggling, laughing, talking about how happy she is now that her and Michaela get along because all three of them together are going to have so much fun. And she's just so grateful and so thankful for all of this. And he doesn't respond. And she's getting ready and realizes that he's not responding. And she goes to shake him awake. And he has passed in his sleep. And she lets out like the most shattering, blood-curdling scream. Like so sad. And I woke Mats up for this part. And he was like, what the? He was like, I did not see this coming at all.
Yeah. I wished I didn't.
Me too.
Because I learned last year when people were shocked when Michaela showed up that in Francesca's book, John is only in like the first 10 pages and he dies.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So that's when I learned it, like found that out too. That's when the Michaela character was introduced because Michaela was a different character.
Michael.
So that I got spoiled for John as well.
And it also made sense of why she didn't have her own season at the time, too.
Yes. And I think I would have, as soon as he started being like, yeah, I'm feeling a little under the weather, I'd be like, he's got the bubonic plague. And like,
he had an aneurysm.
Well, I was going to say, death is obviously like sad regardless. And like, still people die, and you can do an autopsy, you can do all these tests and like still have like no idea why, or you can figure out the cause of death and like it still doesn't explain like how this thing serendipitously happened. But my God, death must have been even just so much scarier. It's already scary.
Yeah.
It must have been so much scarier back then because you don't know what happened, and beyond not knowing what happened, like not being able to like move on, you don't know how to prevent it. You don't know how to stop it. You like don't know what caused it, which I think is new for them all to deal with, as opposed to when their dad died, because he died from an allergic reaction to a bee sting. And it was like, that's why Anthony's terrified of bees. Like, that's like, it feels like as disproportionate of a result as that felt, like, it still feels like logical. And this, we're about to like just embark to a like, what the fuck is going on kind of a thing. You go to sleep, you take a nap, and you just don't wake up, which is so sad. And that's how we end the episode.
That's how we end. And it is, I feel like I felt it coming because I knew that he was going to die eventually. I just didn't know it was going to be right here until we kind of got the sign off from him. And I was like, oof, here it comes. And he was getting headaches. And I was like, ugh.
As soon as her and Michaela like squashed their beef, I said, oh, he's dying. Because the thing was, everyone knew there was going to be a death this season because for the previews, people were dressed in black. And it's either going to be the Queen or it was going to be John. John was always going to die, but it was like, is he dying this season or is the Queen going to die first? And as much as it was awful for John to die, I was much more mentally prepared for John to die than the Queen to die.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So this is a beautiful episode. But now we're going to end this episode of But Am I Watching? Thank you for joining us. Next week, we will do the remaining 2 episodes. And join us on Monday for Don't Blame Me.
Yeah. And don't forget to stay for the post-credit scene if you're watching the last 2 episodes. Because I had to do that this morning.
Yep. I told you.
I know. And I remembered as I was on the phone with Mats, because Mats was like, so like, what did you think about Bridgerton? And I was like, gotta call you back. I actually forgot to watch the post-credit scene that Melissa told me to not forget to watch. Because I forgot to watch it. So we will see you next time.
Bye.
This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lorenz.
Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
And music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso.